There are some fragrance DNAs that just rock. And you know they're effective when they have a whole, widespread variety of fragrances based on this DNA. One of the biggest and most well-known DNAs of recent time, like within the last few years, has been the Tygar DNA. Today, we're gonna look at one of my favorites from this DNA. While it's not Tygar, we're looking at Vibrato from Sospiro. This happens to be the only Sospiro that I own. I know I need to get a couple more, especially Basso, but I digress. Guys, Vibrato is a fantastic fragrance. Yes, it's dated at this point, or it's old news, we'll say, but I love it still. I wear it. I think it's fantastic. We're gonna go over it and unpack it and see if it's still worth or even relevant to today, which, spoiler alert, it absolutely is, seeing as there are still fragrances coming out that are based on this DNA. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so a 100 milliliter bottle retails for about $326 or so. It's pricey, but as usual, this is available at discounters. There will be a link in the description below that you can use. The perfumer, the one and the only Christian Provenzano. He's kind of become, the clone king in a way, or maybe inspired by King. He's very good at taking a DNA and putting his own spin on it for different companies. It's kind of crazy to see how many fragrances he's done in the same DNA, but we'll get past that. In terms of the scent profile, this is a citrus, aromatic, kind of woody fragrance in a way. With that, let's go ahead and dive into the notes. And real quick stitch, guys, I'm getting tired of Fragrantica because you'll look at the notes and be like, okay, these are kind of what I'm experiencing. And then you'll look at the appropriate notes, like the proper notes from the website. And you'll be like, what? These are nothing alike. So we're gonna go with the official note breakdown, which happens to be the same ones that are on Parfumo. So if you are interested in finding accurate notes, Parfumo may be a little bit more reliable of a source. Top notes are going to include grapefruit, ginger, bergamot, mandarin, and rosemary. And that is the essence of that DNA, okay? You get bright citrus, bitter citrus, but then a really zesty ginger. And that is the important note in this. Ginger can sometimes be a bit overwhelming, but whenever it's paired with this much citrus and these sweeter, more herbaceous and kind of woody notes, it shines, it sings. And that's what it does in this one, is it just gives you so much zest, so much pop right away with the perfect amount of rosemary added to it. Rosemary can really quickly overwhelm an opening and turn it too herbal, too green, too dry. But here, it complements the ginger beautifully. And what do you know? One of the other fragrances in this DNA, Lemensity, is ginger and rosemary in the opening. This sticks around for a decent while. And while it may not be those actual notes that are sticking around, how he's constructed this fragrance keeps that vibe going. Now, here's the thing. We'll get to that in a little bit. The heart notes. Let's go ahead and dive into the heart notes. You're gonna get a blend of blonde woods, magnolia, and rose. Now, when you say blonde woods, that leaves a lot up to interpretation, but most likely what we're going to be experiencing is lighter woods, sandalwoods, maybe even a kind of oak style thing. Now, oak can be sweet, boozy, so it's not probably that, but just think of really light, smooth woods, kind of creamier, slightly sweeter. It is going to be synthetic in this for sure. Magnolia is nice. I'm really glad I looked at the official note breakdowns because that's what I'm actually experiencing versus what Fragrantica says. Magnolia is a softer white floral. It has dewy elements to it. It is creamy, slightly sweet, and slightly on the animalic side of a white floral, but not too much. And that's at play here. It adds this warm, creamy heart to it. And then the rose is near imperceptible. It's probably just a slight bit of color, a little bit of fruit. And to be honest, I've not experienced near enough or really any actual damask rose. So I can't tell you how that's playing into it here. The base is going to include crystal amber, musk, patchouli, sandalwood, tonka, and vetiver. Now, crystal amber, to me, that seems like another a fantasy accord. Obviously, it's amber, but this is like a twist on amber. So typically, amber is a blend of vanilla, benzoin, and labdanum to create a balsamic, sweet, kind of rich glass-like, note. But what I'm guessing is happening here is they've taken out probably the labdanum, I would guess. Something that's giving it that balsamic touch. And you're ending up with this really smooth, not straight vanilla, but vanilla-esque, very clean and modern kind of amber. I don't know. I feel like I'm like grasping at straws trying to figure out this and explain it, but again, it may not be all that important. The sandalwood's very nice. It's smooth, slightly spicy. It is very real smelling in this, so props there. Patchouli is subtle, giving a little bit of earth, a little bit of warmth. The tonka is nice. It's giving enough of that vanilla, but more hay-like in this, spicier, drier, and not too sweet. The vetiver is very subtle again. Man, as I think about this fragrance, to me, it is mid-heavy. It's, instead of being a pyramid, so being top, middle, base, this is like top, mid, base. So it's more diamond shaped, in my opinion. It's very nice. All this being said, the fragrance is linear. And that's fine because it's kind of one of those DNAs that you want to just smell what you smell in the opening the entire time. And it does a very good job of holding on to this zesty quality, this fresh quality with a little bit of these clear, transparent, woody notes and a little bit of greenness. You never lose those zesty elements. They just stick around. It's very nice. There's a lot of what I would guess is ambroxan in this and some other molecules that really help push this fragrance out because it projects like a beast and you will lose it. Like you will probably go noseblind very quickly to it. If you have been enjoying this video up to this point, would you consider hitting the like button, join our community by hitting the red subscribe button? Guys, let's go ahead and dive into the questions. So let's talk about originality. Absolutely not. This is not original by any means. It's Sospiro doing what Sospiro does, and that's oftentimes take a DNA that's doing really well and put their spin on it. I don't know how I feel about that. I think they have some original things, but this is straight up, in the Tygar DNA. It's one of my favorites in this DNA. They've done it very well. Now, in terms of the audience, I would say this is a unisex fragrance. Maybe leaning the slightest bit masculine, but it's perfectly suited for either gender. In terms of age groups, this is perfect for any age. It's fun and playful, but it has some slightly mature elements and it's not too sweet for an older guy to really rock day to day. Seasons, this shines in the spring and summer. This fragrance was really designed for the heat, in my opinion. I do find that this in the cool really gets choked off. It gets subdued and it doesn't shine near as much. The heat brings out the really nice qualities of this fragrance. In terms of the occasions, this is signature scent material. This is appropriate to go to the gym, appropriate for the office, appropriate for a date night. Not too elegant, so leave that one out. But otherwise, this is an incredibly versatile fragrance. It's very nice, very mass appealing, and it's a really, really good fragrance. Now, in terms of the performance, longevity is excellent on this one. This one lasts me 8 to 10 hours long. It is gone to my nose by like hour 6, but other people still smell it. That's what I was mentioning earlier. There are some aroma chemicals in here that will make you go like anosmic very fast, but they continue to push the fragrance. The projection is strong. It pushes a lot. It's never beast mode, but it is, one that makes its presence known and for a long time, which is great. I think they do a really good job at this, but typically with, you know, this many chemicals and stuff, it does flatten out a fragrance, and that is apparent here. It's linear. There's not a lot of movement. There you go. Sprays. This, I would say 5 to 7. I usually do at least 5. I am wearing 7 today. I wouldn't be afraid to go a little bit more. 5 to 9. We'll go 5 to 9. This one is plenty loud. This brings me to the overall score. Guys, I'm gonna give this one an 8.2. I love this fragrance. I love the DNA. It's a DNA that has thrived, that has really done well, especially for modern times. There's just so many things going well for it. And what's nice is there are so many fragrances in this DNA with little tweaks here or there that really help you find what you like. For me, Vibrato is one of the best. It just works really well. Only thing that really keeps it a little bit lower, 8's really freaking high for me. The only thing that could get a little higher, maybe some dynamics in it. The higher quality materials that smell a little more rich. Something like, you know, Lemensity. Lemensity, we're talking good stuff there. Guys, I would love to know your experiences with Vibrato or the DNA in general. What is your favorite from this DNA? And if you enjoyed the video, would you consider hitting the like button and join our community by hitting that red subscribe button? And folks, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.